Here we are live at the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association. We're at the bar again. So look out, Hoda and Jenna.
Hoda
and
Savannah.
Yeah, well, there's Jenna too. Depends which one you look at. So look out, Hoda and Savannah, because here's Roseanne Aumiller and Leanne O'Brien. And we just want to share a little bit of our experiences over the last number of years and our thoughts about the great opportunity that the Bar Association provided for all of us. So, Roseanne, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
All right, so I'll start. Hello, everyone. I'm Roseanne Aumiller, and I am a director at Citizens Capital Markets for Citizens Bank. I've been there about 4 years, and I've been at various other organizations in Cleveland my whole career. And what I do is I provide something called business valuations, which is sort of a niche practice. I'm a CPA by background and education. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm a business executive who is part of the bar. And my centers of influence involve attorneys. So it was a natural fit for me to join the Bar Foundation, where I was a director for 4 years. I'm currently not a director, but have been involved for many years, I think from 2016 to 2021. I was asked by Becky McMahon, the CEO, to consider joining because I had just rolled off of 9 years of being on the board of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and was looking for something else to do. And so this was a natural fit because, as I said, my centers of influence involve attorneys. So you don't have to be an attorney to get involved at the bar. So Leanne, why don't you tell us about how you got involved and what your background is?
So I'm Leanne O'Brien. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for the McGregor Foundation. The McGregor Foundation is an organization with a legacy of over 145 years, a tradition in caring for seniors and older adults. We also have a grant-making foundation that supports other organizations that are as well nonprofits. In my work, I deal quite a bit with attorneys specializing in estate planning, in probate.
And doesn't your firm encourage you to get involved in other than your normal professional associations?
Yeah, I think that's very important to do that. I think you and I were sharing a little bit earlier that when I participate in organizations within my industry, I'm networking with so many other individuals, but we all represent one or numerous businesses in the same industry. In healthcare, in supportive and senior residential services. But getting involved in the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association, I think, really provided both you and I an opportunity to meet and engage with so many other different individuals, not just attorneys, other business affiliates, in so many different walks of life. It made it a little bit more exciting.
Yeah.
At least for me, I found it a little bit more exciting to meet people that I otherwise in my industry would never
More
have an
inclusive,
opportunity
more
to meet.
diverse. Yeah, I totally
absolutely.
agree. And the companies that I worked for always encouraged everyone, all the professionals, to get involved, not only in their professional, natural professional, like for me, it would be the AICPA, or as a business valuation specialist, there are valuation groups. But they would encourage you to become part of the community, to get involved. And it wasn't always a transactional relationship. It wasn't, you could only do it to get something back. It was for, the good of the cause. The Bar Foundation raises money to support so many causes that enhance the workforce development and the legal community, as well as the business community. So that being said, not only did my firms encourage me to join just for the good of the causes, altruistic purposes, but they would also provide financial support, which, let's be honest, that's part of it. It's all
very important.
That's very important.
Yeah. Likewise, McGregor encourages us to get involved in things that are civic minded. We are an organization that has a lifelong legacy, and that's very important to us, but also making the connection in the greater Cleveland community and partnering with other organizations to give back, after all, to our civic community, but also philanthropically to be able to contribute in a variety of different ways. And we know when we get involved in organizations like this, we're not just contributing financially, we're contributing our talent, our resources, our connections. I know, much like you are, Roseanne, I'm a doer. I think we both became members of the Bar Association, and then, sometimes you get labeled a doer, which is okay. I mean, I enjoy doing it. I know you do as well.
Yes, I do.
And we both got pulled into the foundation side of it.
I always say that the foundation staff, they do so much with so little. While we do raise funds,
Yeah.
when in comparison to the results, they do so much with so little. There's so much good being done. And the board, from my experience, and I think yours too, Leanne, it's a very engaged board. I mean, the 4 years that I was on there, I was amazed at how everyone participates on a high level. And so I really encourage other business executives and professionals in Cleveland who are looking for something to get involved in is to consider the Bar Foundation or the Bar Association.
Well, I think you can really wrap your arms around an organization like this. And I often said there's a big difference between sitting on a board and serving on a board. And I think just by the nature of everybody who's been involved over the last, I don't know, 6 or so years that you and I have been involved in, I really see people contributing. I really see people stepping up to the plate. And it's wonderful.
And the work is done at the committee levels.
Exactly.
Much of that hard work. So we've both been involved on different committees. What committees were you involved in? Not to put you on the spot, if you could remember.
I was on the endowment committee. I was for many years on the marketing committee. I got involved in Women in Law, which was an opportunity to engage with other women, both in the legal community and outside. Some of those monthly lunches and the speakers that we had and the path that many of them forged was inspiring, to say the least. Certainly involved in the Halloween run. Both just as a committee person, then as a co-chair person, involved in Rock the Foundation, the huge annual fundraiser. I'll say F-U-N, fundraiser. Before you knew it, was co-chair for a couple of years. And we had some fantastic new opportunities with that. The raffle was one opportunity, even an online raffle. So I think there were a lot of, fun things to get involved with.
And then this year was the big 150th anniversary of the Bar Association.
That'll be coming in June 24th
That's
at
gonna
the
be
Rock
fun.
and Roll Hall of Fame. The organization certainly is about lawyers giving back. And I think about business affiliates giving back as well. And, many pro bono hours of time and work and energy are put into how we can give back to various organizations and institutions in greater Cleveland and Northeast Ohio. At one point in time, the estimated value, I think, of time and energy and effort given was over $4 million. If
Wow.
really having, well over 50 community partners. Probably the number's even greater now, but over 1,200 volunteers.
Yes, that's an amazing
within the organization. And hours of service were somewhere in the realm of over 30,000
Wow.
hours of service. The personal legacy, I think that it gives people like you and myself, Roseanne, the personal legacy that it gives
And the
us.
connections that we make going forward. Met a lot of great friends and professionals during our tenure here, and it's been great.
One thing I think when I first got involved in the organization that I never initially would have dreamed of was, as a business affiliate, being able to become president of a foundation like this.
That was a first, yes.
It was.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I soon realized, I think, what the value of an organization like this brings. And I remember sitting down, having coffee one day, calling up Carter Strang, who at the time was president, and laying the groundwork, telling him that I wanted to, get involved in this capacity. And even, he probably laughed when I said this, but I even said, well, a non-lawyer can become president of the foundation.
Well, he has an open mind. I bet he didn't laugh, yeah.
I don't know if he laughed or not, but I think he knew at that point in time how serious I really was about it. The opportunities that it presents and the groundwork it lays for other individuals to follow in my footsteps. So, one voice can make a difference. One person can make a difference. It is fun to be able to kind of say I'm the first.
And you
of
did a
that.
fabulous job, yeah. I was proud to serve with you.
Enjoyable for sure.
Being involved and being at the board meetings every time. I'm a numbers person and I'm more of a bullet point person, and when we would go to these meetings to listen to the attorneys discuss the topic on the agenda, pros, cons, everybody's opinion. To me, that was very interesting and eye-opening because I'm very much a brief, to the point, just give me what I need to know. So lawyers are very verbal. It made me remember that. Not that I never knew that, but when you're in a room with mostly lawyers like that, it was very interesting.
The fellows is
Oh, the
another.
fellows. I'm a fellow.
Yeah, yeah, so am I. And it's a great way to contribute. It is part of giving toward the endowment through a pledge. It can be a lump sum pledge. It can be a pledge over 5 years, but it really builds that base so that we can sustain not only just the organization but the programs that we do. We know asking for money is never easy. We all do it in a variety of different ways in our everyday careers.
We've all gotten better at it. Yeah,
We
you just
have.
pick up the
We
phone, send
have.
an
Yeah.
email, talk
Yep.
to people,
Yep.
go to their office. You would go knocking on doors getting
Yep.
raffle prizes too, if I recall. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it was easier as the years went along, reaching out to our fellow members. It was no surprise, I think, when we called for many of these events like Halloween Run and Public Servants and Rock. It wasn't a surprise that we were knocking on the door or picking up the phone or sending email correspondence. And everybody, I think, as I saw in my 6 or so years, people seem to be more eager to give and to participate. Even putting your name on the sleeve of the Halloween Run T-shirts, that was a thrill for everybody to see their name. I think we were able to accommodate about 50 names, if I recall, 25 on each sleeve, as well as the organizations that gave sponsorships, and they got the prime location on the back of the shirts. Fun things like that, and ways that we do recognize what our members do. This is an organization of great people making lasting connections to enhance the greater good of our Cleveland legal and business community. And I think, that just really says it all.
So my advice to anybody who was considering getting involved is to talk to other board members. All of that information is on the bar website, so you can find out who's who and get their contact info. Ask
And
them
listen
what.
to more podcasts.
Right, that's right. And ask them any specific questions you might have. There's also continuing education programs that if you want to be a speaker, that's a good venue for you to go out there and put on a program. Like Leanne said, just jumping in with both feet. It's just a great organization that'll make you feel good about yourself. It'll make your company proud, and you'll do a lot of good for the community. In closing, I would just say, meet me at the bar anytime.
Or as that old, I think there's a logo or a brand that says, just do it.
Just do it. Well, yeah, that's Nike, right? But
Well,
the
I'm
bar.
not going to say the name.
Yes.
Just do it.